This past week, it's been revealed that T1 CEO Joe Marsh and several other T1 employees were part of a private T1 fan Discord server. Many T1 fans have been outraged to find out that not only were Marsh and other T1 employees sharing exclusive and behind-the-scenes content there for free, but that he also made personal and crude jokes about one of the team's players there. There's even been an accusation that he failed to act on a racist remark left in the server by one of the users. It's an incredibly strange story all round. Let's get into it. Okay, we're going to be doing a deep dive today into a secret Discord, so while you're buckling up for that, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and if you enjoyed the video at the end, make sure you leave a like on your way out the door. We really do appreciate it. Okay, so we all know T1, the most successful org in League's history, the home of Faker, and probably the team I've talked about most on this channel other than TSM. In March of this year, T1 launched their global fan platform powered by B-Stage. The idea was that this platform would give T1 fans a more intimate way to engage with the players, especially after 2 years of a pandemic that meant they couldn't really see them in person. The platform offers fans exclusive content, including behind-the-scenes videos and even the chance to directly communicate with the players. At the time, InVen Global quoted T1 CEO Joe Marsh as saying, quote, "The competitive edge and legacy of T1 is all thanks to the support and love from fans. I am very excited that the new platform and membership will allow for the players and fans to feel a bit closer." Now, for the sake of this story, it's important to remember here that this is all a paid subscription. T1 are offering behind-the-scenes content, but only if you fork out the cash for it. And as far as I'm aware, this system seemed to work well on the surface until last weekend when all hell broke loose. The Korean outlet Naver reported that T1 CEO Joe Marsh had been sharing daily behind-the-scenes pictures of the players to a private Discord called T1 Happy House for overseas fans. Reportedly, the fans who were paying 70,000 won, or roughly $53 for their T1 memberships for all that exclusive behind-the-scenes content were not happy about this. It sounded a lot like what they were paying for was being given to others, mainly Western fans, for absolutely free. On top of that, the article also outlined an alleged case of racism in the Discord server as well. Some of you may remember the recent T1 protest trucks that angry fans have been sending to T1 games in protest of their management. Well, allegedly, one user reacted to that in the Discord server by suggesting that, quote, "We will put kimchi in the truck." InVen Global's Ashley Kang outlined the controversy further on Twitter. She shared images allegedly from the Discord which appeared to show merch leaks from CEO Joe Marsh, as well as details of contract negotiations with players' agents and behind-the-scenes pictures of the players. There was also a conversation which allegedly showed Joe Marsh discussing a player photo shoot with fans in which he asked who was going to spray oil on their jungler owner, which he later described as a thirst trap. So this was pretty crazy news. Not only did it look like T1 membership subscribers were missing out on exclusive content being given to others for completely free, but the Discord server in which that content was being shared in was being accused of containing at least one racist comment from a user and a conversation in which T1 CEO joked about covering a player in oil as a thirst trap. Kang also shared a message allegedly sent to T1 membership subscribers by T1 in which they apologized for the situation. Specifically, they mentioned the sharing of photos and information on an unofficial Discord channel and the fact that the Discord communications were conducted in only one language. They resolved to not make the same mistake in future, said that all T1 members had now left the Discord, and pledged that those with T1 membership will receive more and better exclusive content moving forward. This message was not a public statement from T1, and pressure began to mount earlier this week for there to be a more official addressing of the situation. On Monday, Joe Marsh did just that. He shared a twitlonger in which he began by apologizing from the bottom of his heart for what he called a confusing and disappointing turn of events. He admitted that he and several other T1 employees were involved in the Discord server and asked for forgiveness. He explained how he and other T1 employees disclosed sensitive information information and posted pictures that originated internally. Marsh claimed he thought these pictures would be okay for him to post because they were not going to be used anywhere else, but admitted this was wrong and that it undermined the trust of the T1 fan membership. He also acknowledged that he made inappropriate jokes about Owner on the Discord server, including the joke about covering him with oil as a thirst trap. Marsh added that he has apologized to Owner directly for this and that he will make sure nothing like this ever happens again. Now at this point on the Twit longer, we reached something that wasn't touched on at all in the T1 membership message shared by Ashley Kang on Twitter: the allegations of racist remarks on the Discord server. Marsh said he had been made aware of racist remarks in the server and admitted that neither he nor other T1 employees filed a complaint or took action. He stressed that if he had known about it at the time, then he would have done something, but acknowledged that wasn't an excuse, that he should have been more mindful given a similar past incident, and that it was a clear mistake to not realize what was going on. Finally, Marsh admitted that it was wrong for him to remain on the server. As for the future, he announced his decision to take a 6-month salary cut, to never talk about the team's personal details on any channels, and that T1 employees who are on the server will be sent to a disciplinary committee. Many of the top replies in Korean to Marsh's tweet were less than positive. Some described trust as being shattered, said they were disappointed, and urged the CEO to disclose the relevant staff involved in the Discord server. But it's unclear whether we'll hear any more on this matter. Marsh's statement seemed pretty final, and I'm sure that both he and T1 will not want to draw any more attention at this time. For those of you that have been following, T1 haven't been going through the easiest of times this year. On the Rift, their record-breaking, perfect regular season in spring and their second place finish at MSI would be enviable to any other team. But outside of the game, there's been a lot of friction between them and some elements of their fan base. In July, we spoke about how Faker is suing his toxic fans who have sent him images and videos described by his legal team as unspeakably foul. And just last week, we saw the return of the protest trucks being sent to T1 games with messages calling out T1 for what some fans see as bad management from the team's coaches. And this all comes at a time when Joe Marsh has recently spoken about T1 fans getting way too close to players in public, even to the point of stalking.
Protesting in Korea is a way of life and part of the culture. I don't mind the protests. What I mind is fans lingering in the alley and popping out at my guys when they're walking home and like trying to get pictures with them, or lingering outside our building. Like, that's not cool. Like the trucks, whatever they are, what they are, like I'd rather have trucks than no fans, but the stalking my players and like ruining their lives, having them be afraid to go to the movies because they're worried that they don't practice too much because they've had 18 hours of scrims and like they can't have a social life. Like, that's draining on my guys more than like a couple trucks.
The last thing Joe Marsh mentioned in his Twit longer about the Discord server was that he especially wanted to apologize to T1 players and staff as they prepare for summer playoffs and a potential Worlds run. This year, and we're not even done with it yet, has seen more headlines for T1 than some other teams see in years, both good and bad. They have an extremely talented team of 4 up-and-comers, assisted by the veteran of veterans himself in Faker. They have a good shot at returning to the top in a way we've not seen from this team in years. But to truly realize that potential, I'm sure that everyone at T1 will want to keep any friction with fans and controversies like this week's to an absolute minimum.